When I met Lena, she was 26, laughing too loudly at a bookstore cafe because I had spilled coffee across a paperback she wanted to buy. Instead of being annoyed, she tore a napkin in half, handed me one piece, and said, "Well, now I has a story." That was Lena, tender toward broken things, even when she had every reason not to be. We built our life slowly. I repaired air conditioning units. She worked nights at a pediatric clinic. We rented a small house with cracked kitchen tiles, adopted an old dog named Milo, and learned the quiet language of marriage, the way she rubbed my shoulder when I worried about bills, the way I left tea on the counter before her shifts. For 7 years, I believed our love was ordinary in the best way. Not perfect, but chosen. Again and again. Then Lena's mother got sick, and everything shifted. Lena became distant, exhausted, sometimes unreachable. I told myself grief made people quiet. I tried to be patient when she stopped asking about my day, when she began taking long drives after work, when she started sleeping with her phone face down. One Thursday evening, she stood in the hallway with her purse already over her shoulder. "I'm going to Rachel's," she said. "She needs company." Rachel had been Lena's college friend. I knew she worked nights at the Maple Crest Motel off Highway 8, a place I passed every week on service calls. Lena kissed my cheek, but her lips barely touched me. "Don't wait up," she whispered. After she left, Milo sat by the front window, watching the taillights disappear. I tried to watch television. I tried to believe her. But an hour later, when I drove past Maple Crest on my way to an emergency repair call, I saw Lena's car parked beneath the flickering blue vacancy sign. And I realized that sometimes the first lie is not the one someone tells you. It is the one you tell yourself because the truth feels impossible. I parked across the street and stared at her car until the rain blurred the windshield. Every instinct told me to storm inside, to demand an answer before my imagination could invent worse ones. Instead, I called Rachel. She answered on the fourth ring, her voice tired. "Hey, Daniel. Is Lena okay?" My throat tightened. "Is she with you?" There was a pause, small, but devastating. "No," Rachel said. I thanked her and hung up. For nearly 20 minutes, I watched the motel entrance. A man in a dark jacket stepped outside, smoking beneath the awning. Then Lena appeared beside him. She was crying. He reached toward her, but she moved away before he could touch her. I should have felt relieved. I should have felt grateful that whatever I feared had not happened. Instead, I felt angry that she had brought another man into a secret she would not share with me. When she came home after midnight, I was sitting at the kitchen table. Her face went pale before I said a word. "You followed me?" she asked. "I drove past. I saw your car." My voice sounded unfamiliar. Who was he? Lena gripped the back of a chair. "You don't understand." "Then explain it." She looked toward the hallway, where Milo slept, then back at me. "His name is Aaron. He's my father." The room seemed to tilt. Lena had told me her father was dead. She had said he left when she was a child and later died in an accident. She had carried that story like a scar. "He contacted me 3 months ago," she said. "He's sick. He wanted money. He wanted forgiveness. I didn't know what I wanted." Why lie to me? Because I was ashamed that part of me still wanted him to love me. Her words should have softened me. But betrayal has its own gravity. "You let me think you were cheating." I was scared you'd hate me for seeing him. I stood, shaking with anger and hurt. "I hate that you didn't trust me enough to tell me." That night, Lena slept in the guest room. I lay awake listening to the rain and wondering how a marriage could hold so much love, and still make room for secrets. The next morning, Lena left before sunrise. She did not take a suitcase, only her coat and car keys. On the counter, she left a note. "I need to decide who I am when I'm not hiding." For 2 weeks, the house became a museum of her absence. Her mug stayed beside the sink. Her sweater hung over the couch. Milo waited at the door every evening, then sighed when it was only me. I learned pieces of the truth from Rachel. Aaron had been living under another name after abandoning Lena and her mother. He had come back not because he was dying, but because he owed money and believed Lena would save him. She had met him at the motel because Rachel worked there and promised to stay nearby. The man I saw in the rain had been trying to manipulate her. Lena had finally walked away. but knowing that did not erase what she had hidden. On the 15th day, Rachel called. Her voice was sharp with fear. "Lena came to see Aaron," she said. "He left the motel angry. She followed him outside, and now she isn't answering." I drove through the night, checking gas stations, diners, and every road near the highway. At dawn, I found Lena's car at an overlook above the river. She sat inside with the engine off, staring at the water. When she saw me, she began to cry. "I thought if I could make him admit he loved me," she whispered, "it would fix something." I sat beside her, careful not to touch her until she nodded. "He can't give you what he never learned to carry," I said. She folded into me then, trembling. I held her, but I did not promise everything would be fine. Love was not a bandage. It was a decision, and decisions required truth. "I want to come home," she said. "Then we go home," I told her. "But we don't go back to pretending." Lena and I did not heal in one conversation. We went to counseling. We argued about the motel, the lies, the months I had mistaken silence for peace. Some days, I wanted to punish her with distance. Some days, she believed she had ruined everything beyond repair. But slowly, we learned that forgiveness was not forgetting. It was refusing to let pain become the only author of our future. Lena wrote Aaron a letter she never sent. In it, she told him she had spent her whole life trying to earn love from someone who had chosen to leave. Then she wrote something harder, that his failure was not proof she was unworthy. She burned the letter in a metal bowl in our backyard. I watched from beside her, holding 2 cups of tea. When the ashes lifted into the cold evening air, Lena reached for my hand. "I should have told you," she said. "Yes," I answered. "And I should have asked what was wrong before I decided I knew." She looked at me, her eyes full of regret and hope. "Can we still be us?" I thought of the bookstore cafe, the coffee-stained paperback, and the young woman who believed broken things could still have stories. "We can be better than we were," I said. Months later, we drove past the Maple Crest Motel. The blue vacancy sign still flickered in the rain. Lena looked at it for a long moment, then turned toward me. "Keep driving," she said. So I did. Not because the past had disappeared, but because we had finally stopped living inside it. And as the motel lights faded behind us, I understood that love survives not when people never fail each other, but when they find the courage to face what failed and choose honesty before it is too late.